Hello and welcome to Man, I Wish I Painted My Nails. Okay, let's get this train wreck started. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is a sketchbook. Now, what I'm going to do is open up to a nice brand new clean page, and I'm going to start with the eyes. Now, you don't necessarily have to start with the eyes or anything for that matter. That's my favorite part. I draw little characters doing random stuff usually, and I just like starting with the face in general because it makes me feel like everything's put together better after I finish that. Plus, I suck at drawing the body, and it just makes me feel better knowing I can get the face down at least a little bit. I'm also drawing in her nose as well as along with her eyes. See, this is what we're working at right now. I basically just took a circle and I added 3 little points to it to make it look like I know what I'm doing. Now I'm going to go on to the actual shape of her face. I usually just start with one ear because she's facing to the side. And then I will sketch in her head, which is basically just a peanut shape. And then I won't do her hair, I'll wait to do that later on. Now I'm going to draw her body, which is my least favorite part. As you can see, I am struggling with doing her arms. I didn't know how I wanted her to stand or like what she was doing exactly, so I cheated and I decided, you know what, she's just gonna have her hands crossed. That way you don't have to look at them. It's just basically behind her back, behind her elbows, so you can't tell what's going on there. Now I'm going to do her legs, which really were really bad, but I basically just draw a line and then a curve on both sides. I'm also doing her hair right now, but you basically just go through and make any shape you want. Since it's a cartoon character, you can make it as loud and wild as you want. It doesn't have to follow any logic, really. Just go for it. Now I'm going to take my kneaded eraser, which is beautiful. If you don't have one, you should get one. It doesn't leave a lot of eraser marks, and I'm basically going to take this and erase all of my sketch work and just leave a little thin layer so I know like where she basically stands. Now I'm going to take this very thin pen and I'm going to outline her in this black. This way she'll pop out more when I eventually color her in. You can color in your character with any background if you want. You don't even have to. It just makes her look more cartoony and it helps make her stand out on the white paper, and I just like doing it. You can tell already that I messed up on one of her eyes and her hands. I basically just gave up on her hands and moved on to her legs and her hair and just basically everything else. This is what she looks like all finished up. And now we're moving on to my favorite part. This is an Ohuo marker. They're basically knockoffs of Copic, which is alcohol-based markers. And you can blend them together. Well, at least I'm trying to blend them together. I took a pink and a tan to make her skin tone, and it didn't really work out that great. Yeah, I'm frantically trying to cover up the pink with more of the tan to see if I can blend it out. Eventually I do get it to a decent shade. You can do it however you like to. This is just how I'm doing it right now. I'm just coloring in all of her skin tone, and then I'm moving on to the color of her shirt. I decided to go with a very light blue. Darker colors kind of scare me because it makes my characters kind of sink into the background and they aren't as bright or colorful anymore, and I'm trying to work on doing more of that. For her hair, I'm doing 3 colors of a yellow to make it look like an ombre blonde. I went in with a light on top and then went into a darker color as it went to the bottom. I also took almost a highlighter yellow color and I blended it into the rest of her hair to make it look like she had highlights. Now I'm doing her eyes. I did a green to make it pop more with the yellow hair. This is a paint marker. stepping markers are amazing. I take it and I use the white paint on it over the eyes or areas where you didn't want it to be colored in, you want it to stay white. Ooh, and you try your best. This is what she looks like all finished up and colored in. Now with the background, I wanted her to have more like of a place to stand and to belong in, I guess. She doesn't look that great, so I wanted it to make the background look like she was more centered. And I'm just going through and I'm taking a bunch of the colors I use, mostly greens and yellows, from the piece, and I'm blending it into the background so it's not a different color and it just makes it pop more like she belongs on the page. I'm also taking my paint marker again and I'm going through and highlighting the outside. Okay, and that's pretty much everything. I hope you guys can take this advice and steps and learn how to draw kind of poorly too. And I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, bye.